Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we are going to solve a task 2 from pre-release material of computer science students for O levels who are appearing in May-June 2021 exam series. So in the task 2, what we have to do, let's begin with the objective of the task 2. It's mentioned, the heading is purchasing ticket. The ticket can be purchased for a single passenger or a group. When making a purchase, check that the number of the ticket for the required train journeys up and down the mountain is available. It means that we have to check the seat should be available to book the ticket. If the tickets are available, calculate the total price including any group discount. Just remember this thing because I highlighted this particular word, group discount. Update the screen display and the data for the totals. In the scenario it's mentioned, if you are booking and the number of the seat is exceeding more than 10, so the 10th number passenger should get a free trip. For example, you went to book a tickets and your group number, total number of the person in your group is 25. It means that on 25 you will get a 2 free tickets because it's crossing the 10th. Every 10 member will get a free ticket for journey up and for journey down. It means you book the 25 tickets but you are only allowed to pay a 20 amount for the 23 seats. So let's begin with the solution of task 2. As I already mentioned in the task 1 video, I will try to declare the variables according to the task and what we required to solve a particular task as already mentioned. So before we go further, we just have a look on the table which we already created in a task 1. So it shows that the train number, timings, number of seat, status and tickets cost. You just notice over here I predefined a train number as a tick because I am just going to use a train number as a primary key throughout the solution to call the information, to store the information and to update the information. So just remember this train number because in the task 2 we are going to use this particular numbers to feed the information. And all the other information is already fed in our array like the timings and the seats, the status is also and the cost per ticket. It's also meant ticket cost is a per ticket cost. So I'm just going to discuss the variables which I use over here. So I declare the charge to the passenger as I already give the example of the passenger of 25. If you are going to purchase a ticket, so it means you should charge. 23 passengers should be charged. Then train number up. I already mentioned in the screen. Just I am going to use a train number as a variable, as a primary key, not a variable. So I create a variable over here. The train number for the up and the train number for the down. Then purchase ticket as a string because I am going to use this purchase ticket. Then passenger of a integer, number of the passenger will be there. Total number of the passengers. Then amount because the calculation we have to do, we have to give the discount, we have to charge the passenger. It means the amount is also be calculated. Then the total amount. Why the total amount? Because in the scenario this says we have to calculate the total earning of a day. How much money we earn in a single day. Then in the task 2 they also discuss about the discount. So I use discount on seat. So over here I create a one prompt message. The prompt message saying, do you want to purchase a ticket? Do you want to purchase ticket? Yes, I wanted to purchase the tickets. So enter yes or no. The user has to put, or the person who's working on a computer system, he or she has to write over there he wanted to purchase or she wanted to purchase or not. So I said input purchase ticket. I already declare as a string. While I am using a while loop over here because we have to mention the validation check as well. Our data should be validated at the time of the entry. Over here I use the one logic which is showing over here. While purchase ticket is not equal to no. If it's not equal to no, do output enter number of the passenger for the journey. Once this condition did not get true. Maybe you already cleared the loop concept in your syllabus. Okay, what is the meaning of the loop and where we have to use the while loop. Okay, while loop, for example, if the condition did not get true, it will continue. So over here, the condition is true because it's not equal to no, because the passenger write yes over here, okay, which is not equal to no. So then the second step, the program will come over here, and the second step, output enter the number of the passengers for the journey, okay, how many passenger you will take. For example, user input the passenger, which we already declare over here. At the same time, we are going to calculate the total passenger will equal to total passenger plus passenger. Why we are doing this line? Because end of the session, end of this programming, we require to output. We have to output the total passenger for a day. How many passenger travel for a day from foot to top and top to bottom? Because why I use this statement over here? Because this says in the scenario, the passenger when they are booking a ticket, they has to book the ticket for the both side, from foot to the top and top to the foot. Second part, enter train number for the journey foot to top. Remember I told you to remember the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. I told you that I am going to use the train number as a primary key to call all the information in our database. Over here, I force the command to the user, input train number up. So the user is limited to feed this information 1, 2, 3. Why? Because in the prompt message I mentioned them. You have to select from this 1, 2, 3 and 4. At the same time, when the user input the data, occupied seat should be filled as a number. First time what the number user put, for example 1, so everywhere will be the 1. Occupied seat, remember in the first video I mentioned, not in the first video, the task 1 video, when we are creating a variable as the initial 0, how many seats are occupied? We are not aware of it. So now we are making a statement that the passenger which is the user mentioned over here, it will add it as a occupied seat. See, plus passenger. How we get the passenger from here? Then the second time, total up seats, number 1, total up seat minus the passenger. With this statement, we will get how many seats is remaining. Because we have to show, once the seat is booked, then we have to change the status available to the close. We have to replace the available with the new word with the close. That's why we are totaling and we are making a seats availability over here. The second part, after the program will come over here. Another prompt message will appear on the screen. Enter train number for the departure from top to down. Once you book the ticket from foot to top, now you have to tell or to book the ticket from top to bottom. See, I told you in the start, once you create the logic for the upward, then the same logic will apply to the downward. But you have to you have to only change the variable names. See, the same thing I done over here. Train number down, occupied down seat number. For example, the user said I wanted to come back from the train number 2. So the 2 will be there. Take a same logic, plus passenger. How you will get the passenger? From here only. Then you have to determine minus. See the sign of minus. Why we need it? Because we wanted to see how many seats is left on a particular train. Then we have to calculate and we have to charge the passenger. In this part I use the if. If passenger is greater than or equal to 10, then what to do? Then charge to the passenger. What to charge? The passenger, then minus. I use integer. Why? For example, you book 25 tickets divided by 10. Okay? So this thing, then integer will convert the whole nearest, basically not round off, it will round down your value. Then discount on a seat. Again, see, but the confusing part over here, why I multiply by 2? Because there are 2 tickets, one for up and one for down. That's why I did it integer multiply by ticket into 2. Then if this condition did not get true, else charge to the passenger. For example, your quantity is not 25, your quantity is 9, which is less than 10. So it means it will not fall in this particular condition. So where it will fall? It will fall over here. So the system automatically charge the passenger. Charge to the passenger. What will be the charging of the passenger? जो भी passenger, ठीक है, we will save over here. Now second part, we have to calculate the money. We already initialized this uptrend money in the for task 1. Just have a look on the task 1. See, uptrend money and downtrend money, occupied up seats, occupied down seats. So over here we use these things. This normal calculation, maybe you look here how much long code you write it. It's only the variable name. Don't worry about the variable name. If you like to shorten the variable name, just do it. But remember one thing, your variable should give a proper meaning of the variable. So uptrend money plus charge to the passenger into a ticket price. Over here we charge the passenger. How many passenger we have to charge? In this we are multiplying the passenger with the things. Either this you will get from this or you will get from this. Any case, if this condition get true, you will get the charge passenger. If this condition did not get true, then you will get the charge passenger from here. It is talking about the numbers. For example, 9 passenger, it will save as a 9. So 9 into the ticket price. What will be the ticket price? The ticket price will be, we already mentioned in the start, $25. Same thing for the down, charging again. See over here we only charge once. Okay, we are separately charging, that's why we are not charging anything extra. We are only charging ticket price. Second, if passenger train is equal to 0, then change the status. If the passenger train is, for example, I choose 1 and we will go over here. For example, it's the 1 I choose here. If it's equal to 0, it's become 0. It means for 80 tickets we sold it out. So then this status will automatically change to close. Got it? Then the total amount. The same thing once you create for the upward, at the same time you can create for the downward as well. Total amount is equal to total amounts plus uptrend money, which we already calculated over here. Take it, this one will come from here and this will come from this. And why? We have to stop the loop, because the loop will work for all the times until the user will not say no. If the user write it over here no, so then nothing will run. So now let's see how the tickets condition look like. For example, for the first time user choose as a 250 tickets. Then train 2, 200 seats occupied, train 3, 30, and the train 4, it's 300. The status did not upgrade because it's mentioned over there that you have to upgrade in task 2. The status will be there because still 100% is not there. The ticket cost is there. Same thing for the top of the mountain. 20 tickets, 80 tickets, 480 and 200. Maybe why the 480? Maybe the people who travel from the first train, they wanted to come back from the train number 3. See, once the seat is over, 480 by 480. Now close. Remember I'm talking about the changing the status over here. If something is 0, then you have to change the status. So this screen change the status after the update of the screen. This is for the task 2. Hope you get the idea. If you did not get the idea, so you have to review the video for the introduction. Then task 1, then come back to this particular video which is showing you solution of task 2. Thank you very much for listening. Have a nice day. Bye. Take care. Like, share, comment and subscribe my channel.